Hi, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on this live demo. We appreciate the opportunity to show you how enterprises using Genesys Cloud earn, keep, and grow customers by enabling human-to-human collaboration in digital spaces. So I just have a few slides I'm going to run through just as some quick background before I pass it off to Chris for the demo. So Glance Guided CX transforms journeys from these do-it-yourself into do-it-together from within your mobile apps, portals, websites, to provide that human guidance at the exact right time to help customers achieve their goals, build that trust, and reinforce that customer's choice to do business with you. You can create these wow-worthy branded experiences where these end customers don't even know they're realize they're using Glance. It helps you move those interactions forward without friction, keeping all the participants in the journeys, the workflows, and even the communication channels they're already in. And it enables you to connect with people right at that moment of need without disrupting the flow of collaboration. Glance is an impactful CX innovation that's easy for everyone and it works everywhere. Representatives can join customers in human-guided collaborations from any CRM, CCaaS, or custom desktop system, including Genesys Cloud, which you're going to see today. Customers can use any browser or device and don't need to exchange a session key. And enterprises can create that consistent customer experience across any channel, business unit, or even third-party strategic partner like Intuit does with their CPA network. Glance leverages your existing tech stack investments and supports your future tech strategies. It's easy to deploy, adopt, and use, and it's proven for that enterprise-grade security and scale. And we're not just one narrow point tool. Your experts have a suite of visual collaboration capabilities right inside Genesys Cloud Workspace, right at their fingertips, and you'll see some of these capabilities during the demo. Chris will also show how representatives from within Genesys Cloud join a session. He'll touch on how to measure the impact Glance has on interactions, and if time allows, touch on our login options and configuration controls from all within Genesys. With that, Chris, I'm going to go ahead and pass that off to you.
Thank you, Heather. Appreciate it. All right, so we will share the screen. Hopefully you should be seeing my desktop at this time. Okay, and so you should be seeing the Genesys workspace on the left-hand side. We're actually representing both sides of the conversation. So on the left-hand side, you have the associate working in Cloud CX workspace. And on the right-hand side, you actually have Global Financial Services, which is going to be the company that has purchased Cloud CX and has it embedded onto their website. And we're going to start some different interactions showing you how Glance can help facilitate the customer solving business problems, whether it is on a voice phone call or on a chat session. So the very first thing, let's go ahead and place a call in and get a checking call going. Okay, we're placing a call into
Welcome
Cloud
to
CX.
Global Financial Services. Please enter your PIN.
You entered 2476. Is that correct?
Welcome.
Marshall Erickson.
Press 1 for checking, press 2 for credit cards, or press 3 for home financing.
And we're going to press 1.
Thank you. We are transferring you to a checking associate.
And the interaction comes into Cloud CX, and you have the all of the controls, and you see the Glance controls actually appearing right here within the Genesys Workspace desktop. We also have scripting turned on, so you can see some of the details that have come along with the interaction, and you'll notice that Marshall is a platinum customer. And you can easily start the interaction, but we can actually do something a little more interesting. Let's go ahead and have Marshall sign in here. And as soon as Marshall signs in, you'll notice that an orange button appears for join. We actually do presence between the two systems. We actually can either look through things that are in the contact element of their profile, such as their cell phone number, for example, or we can actually even use participant data from the interaction flows that are created in Architect. And so in this scenario, we're actually assigning that from the customer ID as their visitor ID. And so when we see that match on the website, then that allows us to do a simple one-click join on each side rather than having to use keys or any other function to facilitate it. So simply by clicking join with one click on the associate side, the customer is going to be presented with the terms and conditions, and they have to accept those before it'll do a session. Glance always asks before it takes any action. And notice everything was over the top, nothing to download, and everything is modifiable to have the look and feel of the customer's website. So you'll notice the accept button is in the same colors as the Global Financial Services website. As soon as they say accept, it starts a Glance collaboration session, and now the associate sees everything that the customer's seeing on their website. You'll also notice that it actually outlines the border in yellow to let the customer know that they're actually in a browsing session. If the customer moves to a different tab, from a security perspective, that is blocked. And so only things that are tagged by the business are actually browsable by the associate, again, greatly increasing the security. For this scenario, Marshall is one to actually open a business account. He is trying to get a grant from the Small Business Administration and needs to get this new business account to do that. So they say simply click on that. You can do full gesturing. I can actually click on an object, such as Chris can simply say click on the account type. I can also click and drag. Notice it is a specific color, and it even puts the name. You can add up to 10 participants, and each one of them will have their own color with their name tag on it when they do gesturing. And you can actually have full video doing that as well. In fact, we'll go ahead and invoke video. Everything is role-based, so you can actually invoke any of the Glance capabilities through this toolbar. And because they're role-based, you can turn on and off access depending on the associate's role and what you want from a security perspective to allow them to do. For example, I want to do agent video, and I need to actually turn off the video on WebEx, no problem. If they say no, you can actually facilitate it without it and continue on with the interaction. But you can, again, have up to 10 participants with video joining as well. So it allows you to create that high touch model, but GoToMeeting won't allow you to share the camera, and so we can't show that in the demo today, unfortunately. You can actually guide the customer through, so they're looking at the different account types, and we're looking at these different account types. They have questions on that, so Chris simply says, hey, click on the compare PDF, and here in session, we're actually exchanging this data so that they can see it at the same time and walk through it. Provides a fantastic opportunity to do upsell, cross-sell, and improve conversion because you can talk through the differences, and even the gesturing works there. And notice the cursors are actually replicated on each side. You'll see the customer's cursor is red on the associate side, and the associate's cursor is yellow on the customer side. So it really is interactive. You can even download those directly, and you can actually send the customer a separate PDF. No need to send them a separate link or do anything. They can download it right through the Glance interface, greatly improving the experience. They've looked through that. They've decided on the personal premium. They choose that particular personal premium for the small business, and they start filling out the remainder of the form, putting on the other information. Notice when we get down to Social Security number, they put in a number, but it is actually blocked. We actually do masking, and we mask it at the customer's browser. So not only is that information not transmitted to the associate, Glance never receives that information either. Very, very flexible and easy to do, and we can actually have a multitude of ways that we can actually facilitate that masking. You can also quickly switch over to a remote assist. Again, it always asks before they do it, and notice the yellow surround turns red, letting the customer know they're in a different session type, and that the associate now actually has control, and the associate can actually start filling out the remainder of the form. And so they go through and they start filling that out and going through and adding whatever they need to that, including adding the value in there so they can review the form. But notice, even on the remote control and doing the remote assist, there's no way for them to submit the form. We can click on it, it will do no action. It'll only work on the associate side. We can also do things like request the customer to do a document share. For example, we can go up here and say share document. I'm going to prompt the visitor to, let me go ahead and turn off the remote assist here really quick, and I'm going to prompt the visitor to share a document. I say accept, and now the customer can simply drag, let's say we need proof of their balance in their checking account. They see the statement here. Yes, that's the one I want to say share. And right there in the session, they're sharing the information, again with full gesturing on there. And notice a small red dot appeared above the share document. Even from the associate side, if a document is shared, they click right there. There is the document, and they can download that and put that where that needs to be in the CRM or a data repository, wherever it might need to go. I can even have a list of commonly shared. Let's say they want to know about mobile banking. I'll merely click right there, and I can share the other direction with the customer, again with full gesturing, and the customer can download it directly from the interface, creating tremendous flexibility to solve any problem the customer might bring to bear. But let's say they want to go through and talk through these funding programs, as we showed before. As soon as they move over there, it will not show that content because that's on someone else's web page. Again, with role-based security, you can actually do a screen share, and you can actually go through and share something on the associate's desktop or actually on the visitor's desktop. Let's say they want to share that content and walk through and make sure that's correct. Again, make sure they ask for it and they accept doing the screen share. They choose the funding programs for the Small Business Administration and share that content. And just like that, they can actually go through and talk through that, looking through the grants and learning more about those grants and seeing if this is the right type of account. They've looked through it and said, yes, that is exactly what I need. They move back to the account. Now, the very last thing they want to do is they want to add a guest. And Marshall wants his wife, Sue, to actually go through and review the document before they sign off on that. And so we're going to start a new window, and the associate can simply say, add a guest. They have a link, they copy the link, they share that link, they put it into the browser, and then we're going to have Sue here. We're going to resize this just a little bit so you can see both participants. We put Sue in here, and Sue joins the session, adds a code. They simply type in the code, 026, and they have admitted them into the session. Let's try that one more time. 125-026. There we go. And now they have got the session up there, and let's resize that and say no thanks to the video. They can actually look here and they can review this document together. And you'll notice that as they're reviewing through it, she says, oh, this is incorrect. I believe you had a raise, Marshall. She says, oh, you're right. He updates this totally, and right there in the session, they all see these updated values. And notice it's a different color, and it even had Sue's name. She's reviewed everything. She is good with it, and she hops out of the session. And with that, Marshall actually goes ahead and submits the form, and they've done an end-to-end servicing the entire application there in one session with all the tools necessary to do that. They can close out that session, and we have such tight integration in with Genesys, it also will save it as reporting. So we're going to end this call, and we're going to do a wrap-up code. We can actually go here to Performance and Workspace, and we're going to go to Interactions, and you will see this phone call that we just made is here in the Interactions. And we even store the glance details. So here is all of the participant data that came along. There you see the platinum and manual and all of that information. And here is all the glance information with the start time, end time, and even the session ID. This becomes very, very important because now I can actually tie this to exporting that Genesys information that has this participant data from Glance, but then I can export these detailed records from Glance as well, or even from, let's say, Salesforce, joining those by their IDs together. For example, the session ID that you see down here, you can join that to the CRR record, and now I can see in detail what has happened with that interaction, and then even being able to create reports showing, let's say, breakdowns with value of those interactions and average duration, really giving me a really complete look at what is actually going on in my contact center. Even taking it a step further, if I want, even doing things like looking at CSAT scores and how Glance affects both the CSAT score and the value and duration of those interactions, making it very, very powerful. You can also do multimedia. For example, if we wanted to, we could start a chat session anywhere in the session, but we can actually even use business intelligence in there. Let's say we already know Marshall is a platinum customer, and we want to start a chat session with Genesys. We do that. Now notice what's going to happen when we move back over to the interaction. It already knows it's a platinum customer, and as a platinum customer, it actually uses business logic to drive starting the Glance session automatically. So the business rules for Global Financial Services is that if it's a platinum customer that starts a chat session off of that checking form, to automatically start the session, and just like that, without having to do any interaction or taking time from the associate side, it will start the interaction and immediately for them, creating a tremendous amount of flexibility. You can even do things doing like proactive contact with that as well, and offering up offers that can actually do a full collaboration. We can even do the same thing in a voice phone call. For example, if we could even do profile-based routings. Let's log in as Robin Jones. We sign in, and we're going to place a phone call and log in as Robin Jones. And you'll notice that it's going to start a session automatically because Robin already has in her profile that she wants a Glance collaboration session on any media type that she calls in on.
Welcome to Global Financial Services. Please enter your...
You entered 3333. Is that correct?
Welcome.
Robin Jones.
Press 1 for checking, press 2 for credit cards, or press 3 for home financing.
Okay, we're going to press 1, which doesn't have any special
Please
logic
log
on it.
in to the Global Financial Services website now, and we will prompt you to collaborate when you are connected to an associate. Thank you. We are transferring you to a checking associate.
And notice that it landed here and it looked up all of the information for Robin. And you see Robin Jones, and that she is a platinum customer, and that in her profile that she wants to have a Glance session. And so the system sees that, and then actually, without the associate having to take any action, and already announced inside of the Genesys Architect flow, lets her know that we're going to start the session for her, and she simply has to be logged into the website, and just like that, it starts that session without having to really take any overhead from either the associate or the customer to have a really fantastic online collaboration session to solve Robin's problems. And the last one we will show is actually trying to do a proactive contact. So we're going to actually sign out as Robin. And then we're going to log in as, let's go ahead and log back in as Marshall. And we're going to go to the credit card page. And if we maintain here for 10 seconds, we should get a offering. And this is on a timer from Genesys to do the proactive piece. And then we've got programming from Glance after that. Okay, let's see if this timer will occur here. It does not look like it's going to. Let me try that one more time. You have to clear out the local cache. Go ahead and just log in as Robin, mix it up a little bit. And we go here to credit card. And let's see if the timer, the Genesys timer runs this time. There we go. And so you got a proactive contact here provided by Genesys, but we have this modified so that it will actually ask the customer if they want to actually collaborate with an associate to fill out a credit card application. We're having a special on trying to drive our platinum customers through credit cards. They were simply sitting on the credit card page, taking no action. So we proactively contacted them. And then with one click, they say, yes, I would like to do that. It'll actually start a Genesys chat session. It automatically, the chat bots from Genesys, we've got programmed, it will tell them what's going on, and all in one motion, deliver the interaction to the associate, and then they simply have to say accept. And in one quick motion, we have got them working with that customer to fill out the credit card application and make sure they have a successful journey getting their credit card application fulfilled, as we had shown before. So a lot of tremendous flexibility and automation that can be brought to bear using the business intelligence, customer journey, and AI tools within Genesys to really drive really highly customized customer experiences using the Glance infrastructure. And with that, I believe we have covered the majority of elements on the demo, and I'll turn it back to Heather to see if she wants to host any questions that are out there.
I don't think we have any questions. So thank you, Heather and Chris, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.